Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Major Williams. I am a serial entrepreneur, someone who has sold over 500,000 digital books online and has grossed over $4.9 million doing just that, rinse and repeating the process and creating a system around that has allowed me to be able to not only do this for myself, but also teach and coach and guide others on how to do it as well. I'm also known as a public speaker that inspires corporation executives, young people and student athletes across the nation. But today I want to talk about something that's been kind of on people's radar ever since I started talking about it more. So over 16, 17 years ago, I went viral before viral was a true thing. And it all came down to my reset moment where I was trying to figure out how can I make money and blow up without any money. And I heard many people talking about it over and over again. And I finally, because I was, locked in and just learning about different nuances of how to raise capital, how to start a business with no money, my mind was wired uh, for me to be able to receive or come up with the ideal to be able to do it. And my experience and my story all started from a day that I was walking with my family from a karate class with my two young babies at the time. And we decided to walk up the street to a local Mexican restaurant. And at that moment, I glanced across the street and I saw a bus stop. And I don't know, I've seen thousands of bus stops any other time, any other day, but this particular day, something registered differently. So I looked at the bus stop and I noticed the advertising on it. That particular bus stop, the advertising was a bit worn. But I went over to it. I told my wife, I'll meet you guys at the restaurant and have an ideal. And I started filming myself and the concept of what was brewing in my mind. And so I started talking about, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start an advertising business with $0. And hopefully in the next month, I'll be able to report back and say that I've made XYZ dollars. So here's the concept that I had. I wanted to drop ship my services for the advertising of those bus stops. Because what I found out is that the bus stops are not owned by the city, they are contracted through third party agencies. And so I was able to find who that agency was, and I called them and I gave them a pitch in regards to who I am and what my ambition was. And I wanted to solicit and get ads on that particular space. And also reference that the ad that you have on there, it's a little worn. That means that you guys don't really have anything going with it, which worked in my favor because obviously there was a good laugh, a little chuckle behind it. But they didn't think I could do it because obviously they haven't done it and it was worn and it was faded, as I pointed out. And so typically every single month that ad generates $2,000. That's what they charge. And so I told them, I say, listen, if I can get you $2,000 a month for that ad, can I personally be in charge of it? Will you give me first dibs to get people to advertise on that bus stop? Of course, they didn't think it was possible because, once more, it's been sitting there for a while. It's all worn, it's all faded. But they said yes. And to one up it, to do me a favor even more so, they said, we're going to drop the price down. If you do it, you'll get it and you don't have to pay us $500. So I'm starting out the gate with an opportunity to make $1,500. No, in my mind, I said I'm going to charge $1,000 more. So that'll be $3,000 for the month. Now I have to find out who's going to pay $3,000 for this particular ad that's been worn, that's been sitting here. And I started to look around at the scene and I understood psychology. I had been reading a lot. I understood the human behavior, I understood what gets business owners going and what makes them commit to something, a service, a brand, a new credit card machine. What is it? What makes it attractive? And I started to realize the environment. I realized that there was a red light there. I realized that there was a stop sign there. I realized that there was 2 or 3 schools in close proximity. So I started to pinpoint how much traffic was going at that red light, at that stop sign during that school time, and I was able to put that in my pitch. And I also use Photoshop. So every business, over 40 businesses, I said I'm gonna start with 40. I screenshotted every business and I put their logo and their saying on that bus stop. So when they saw it, I superimposed it in my pitch. They saw their brand on there, and I came up with something real cool and clever for them to get excited about. And in the third week, I actually closed someone for $3,000. I paid the advertising company $500. I was able to pocket $2,500. And that was my story on how I started a business with $0, just ambition, creativity, and the ideal and the willingness to go for it, even if it sounds crazy. Because remember, they laughed at me. They didn't think it was possible because that bus stop had been sitting there. Everyone is walking or driving past it. It's been there. It's all worn and faded. But I saw where others saw that. I saw an opportunity. And because of that, I was able to package that conversation and be able to share that with 1,000 other students that were able to do that, not just here in California, but in other places. So many great testimonials. And the reason why I think this story is so important and what makes it more relevant now more than ever is because how you look at obstacles is how you look at life. So if you look at obstacles as the thing that changed your life versus the thing that works in favor of your life changing, then you're going to be on the other side of success if you do. So look at those obstacles, look at those opportunities, look at those obstacles as opportunities, right? And if you do that, you're going to find yourself in a great space. And I just want to share that story because every time I tell it, people are so amazed, so in awe, but then they want me to break it down. So I said, you know what? Let me do a quick video that I can reshare with people so they can kind of get the gist and more context in regards to how that happened. And just to wrap it up, I owned that bus stop as far as that ad space for 3 years. For 3 years, I made it viable. I made it look good. I created the ads. I did the pitches. I went to the businesses. I emailed. I called them, and I just put in the work. And some businesses, what's so great about it? If you do it properly, they'll lock it down for 3 months. They'll lock it down for 6 months. Or some, like I did, had it locked for the last year that I had it. They locked it down for 12 months. And if I can do it, you definitely can do it. If you want to go deeper and create a foundation on how I was able to do this, I created a new book called Use Everybody. It's a game changer in regards to your perspective, your mindset, and how to use people for the benefit, not to be malicious or take from people, but to add to people, to your environment and your situation. Use Everybody is available in the digital form and also audiobook. And right now I have a special sale going. So go to majorwilliams.com right now. And hopefully I'll see you on the other side in one of my more intimate classes and seminars or guides. So I can't wait to see you guys there. All right. God bless you guys. And as always, stay majorvated.